everyone, Will here with my flea market finds for September 8th, 2025. Just out here in the yard. Did a little work over the weekend. Been working down the bottom there, all around these two big oak trees. It was all covered in vines and all. Got up there and cut some branches. It's looking better. It's always something to do. But not too much to show again, but there's some pretty good sales coming up here. If you're in the Baltimore area, Patterson Park is Saturday. They have a huge flea market, and Sunday is they call it Second Sunday, Fells Point, Baltimore. Second Sunday of every month. So if you go there, maybe you'll see me if you get there early enough. But let me show you the first thing I got to show you today. It's a, I'm tempted to call it mid-century, but I don't think it's that old. But I love the way they made it. Little two tables, two chairs and a table. Nicely done, heavy as could be. Got this whole set for $20. I couldn't say no. Well, my wife couldn't say no. She's never seen an outdoor table and chair that she didn't like. So we'll probably repaint them and end up keeping them. Wigged my kids out. I told them, why'd you buy that little set? I said to them, well, your kids one day are going to be eating at this table. So check out the hibiscus. Oh, and these planters, picked them up from the Amish market. Concrete planters. They go perfect out here. And hummingbird feeder. If we're lucky, we'll see a hummingbird. They've really been tanking up, getting ready for their trip down to South America. So here's what I got. Couple Boba Fett Star Wars figures, still new in a box. Guy had $25 a piece on them. I got them for $20 a piece. Figured this one in a little better shape. I mean, they'll bring like 40, maybe 50 for this one since it's in better shape. Got some Power Rangers mask collection. Paid $20 for this, and I know toys aren't my thing, but I looked them up, and they're bringing around 50 to 60, so $20, not too bad. Got a Harley Davidson hat for $5. Harley stuff always sells well. Got some jewelry. The entire jewelry lot here was wasn't cheap. It was $120 for everything here, but a few nice pieces. Start off with the gold-filled bangles and a gold-filled ring. I know I've mentioned this plenty of times in the past, but remember, gold-filled is 1 to 3% real gold, and gold just hit another all-time high. It's right around 3,600 an ounce, somewhere around there. So what that means is you get 100 grams of gold filled. Out of that 100 grams of gold filled jewelry, there's going to be 1 to 3% that's pure gold. Pure gold is bringing around $115, $120 a gram. So if you get 3 grams out of 100 grams of gold filled, I mean, that's over $300. Definitely worth your while to keep an eye out for cheap gold filled jewelry. Got a sterling dolphin, a little sterling pin. Love the bracelet. What do they call that? Byzantine, made in Italy. The ring is nothing special, it's just sterling. This one got some old filigree work. I'm not going to think it's really too old because the stone doesn't have a scratch on it. But it's a real stone, amethyst. A couple earrings. The turtle is neat because he's jointed. Belt buckle's pretty cool. I mean, I love the wood, and can't really make it out, but it's Buckeye redwood, and it says dyed resin. And of course, the only part I can't make out is the guy's signature up here, or girls, I guess. But a really cool piece. But probably not worth much. I got myself a MacArthur button that'll stay in my own collection. The Man of the Hour, General Douglas MacArthur. I've never seen one like this. I'm sure they're around, but the bracelet's kind of weird because that's a real topaz stone, but the metal is costume. So they went through the trouble of getting a real gemstone, but yet they just put it in a costume setting. You know, I mean, how much more would that have cost them to make a sterling setting? Makes no sense to me. So without that being sterling, it's a hard sell. 1, 2, 3, 4 bracelets. These are all sterling. Love the enamel on this one, and it is marked. Let's see if we can get it to focus here. There we go. Milor 925, Italy. This one's neat. It's a Buddhist prayer bracelet and marked 999, so almost practically pure silver, and a 925 bracelet. Nicely done. The earrings are Givenchy. I can never say it right. Givenchy, something like that. The brooch is marked Comstock Sterling. Haven't looked that up. The people are nicely done, like the hearts. But that's got some mark. Mimo, M-I-M-O. Interesting. The pin is not sterling, it is actually pewter, which is kind of neat. Salisbury pewter. I'm assuming that's Salisbury, Maryland, since they did a blue crab. Really makes me want to get some crabs before the season's over. Oh, and the jewelry box, that was 20 bucks. It's Edna Hibble. Great condition. That's probably over 100 by itself. The shoes, I don't know if they're going to bring anything or not, but they look comfortable. Taos shoes, paid $5 for them. Flare gun update. Remember, I got this a few weeks ago and it was missing the grips. Well, the grips came in, got them from Sarco, and I mean, the grips are like, these cannot be used. They are not a mark on them. At least when I got them, they didn't have a mark on them. But the screw is not original. It's the original screw would have been Parkerized, but I could not find an original screw, or bolt nut I should say. So went to Lowe's and found a brass one that kind of fits. Looks good, fills the hole, does the job holding the grips on. So now it's presentable, but the bolt up here is not original. That should be a pin, so didn't make me feel too bad about not having an original bolt down here. But this will look good in the collection until I can find a better one. Neat piece. M8 flare gun. Got the lugs on the front here where a pilot could lock this into the fuselage as he's flying along and shoot a flare off. Really cool. Nice piece of World War II history. Chest M14. Of course, in my mind, I'm thinking, when I first saw this, I'm thinking M14 rifle. Thinking maybe it's an optics case, maybe magazines are stored in here. And M14 is the optic sight for a mortar. I think it is World War II, maybe Korea, but got it for $10. It's not worth a ton of money. I'll probably end up getting just 30 for it. I went metal detecting first time in a long while, and this is my best find. That's what I get for going to a new school. Well, relatively new. It's only been open for a couple years, so there was still some construction material laying around the grounds. But yeah, it was. I will not make that mistake of going back there again. At least it's a hefty piece of wire. Got a pot. It's a Wagner pot. Wish it had a lid. Needs a good scrumming, but that was only $5. My wife got a concrete planter. It's where it's good to have two strong boys walking the flea market with you. They can carry this back to the car while you continue shopping. But $10. I mean, that's really, it's a nice piece. Mentioned this in my last video. I forgot to include it. It is a ring sizer and ring reducer. So, got to learn how to use it. I'm sure there's plenty of videos, and I need some dies to go into the down here for the ring reducing feature. I got that for $20, and we'll keep it. I think I sell a lot of rings. Well, I get a lot of questions about rings, and there's a lot of people that want them a little bigger, a little smaller, and it would be good to offer, as you know, if you want, we can size this ring up or down a little bit. The key word is a little bit. You know, you can't really stretch it all the way out. But I think within a size or two, maybe, I don't know. Got to do a little research on that. My favorite find of the week, I got these 4 wood crates. Atlas Powder Company, Red Diamond Explosives, American Cyanide Company. Horrible name for a company. And this one on the bottom is a James Swisher. Whatever he did. Not quite sure. But it's a hefty wooden crate. So pulled up to the yard sale and looked out my door, and he had them stacked up on his lawn like this with a $5 each sign on them. So I immediately walked out of the car and walked up to him and handed him a $20 bill and said, "I'll take your crates." And then the next 3 people right behind me wanted to buy the crates while I was there looking around. The bottom one, the James Swisher, that won't bring much money. Couldn't find any on eBay, I should say. But the explosive ones, they will bring around 75 a piece. So turn $20 into $225. That's a pretty nice little profit. I have an old crate that somebody turned into a cabinet. They put a lid on the top. They cut the front off and cut it in half and made a drawer and a drawer. Well, I guess the top part isn't a drawer, but the bottom part is a drawer. They put a bottom in. So it's a lot of things you can do with these. I'm just going to sell them as is. Let the buyer do whatever they want. They have been painted on the sides for some strange reason. But the important sides have the writing: 50 pounds American ammonia dynamite, 40% strength. Pretty cool. Love the dovetail on the side too. So same guy who had these had one of these sitting out on his yard for he wanted 30 on these. This is a fireman's reel, hose reel. I guess it mounts in a building, firefighting, and it's made by the Revere Rubber Company. And held a fire hose. So I buy the one from him. Then he says, well, you know, I got another one identical to it down in my basement. Do you want that too? And I said, sure. So I got these for 25 a piece, and I'll put them on for probably on eBay for 100 a piece. Very cool. Something you do not see very often. So many, he was talking about turning them into like overhead lights, but I got a feeling they're probably going to get restored and somebody will put a hose back on them that's really into firefighting collectibles, and they'll hang that on their wall. Nice coat of bright red, you know. Sandblast them down to the bare metal, give them a nice coat of bright red, and with a vintage hose wrapped around the inside, that would be pretty neat looking. So there we go. Keep an eye on my store, Terminal 99, which is where a lot of this stuff will be appearing. And after this, I got some shipping to do. Got like 12 or 13 things going out. So that's clean this up, do my shipping, and do a little listing, and should be about time for dinner after that. So till next time, this is Will Yard Sales Survivalist, and we'll talk again soon.